Alright guys, welcome back to day 3 of the World Cyber Games Grand Final here in Busan, South Korea. And we are back for another Samsung Supermatch, this time between GLSnute from Norway and the F91 from China. It is going to be a ZVZ, and F91 is going to be the blue Zerg spawning on the 2 o'clock position of this map, and Snute will be the red Zerg spawning on the 8 o'clock position of this map.
Yeah, and remember, because it's the WCG version of this map, it's forced cross positions, so both these players know right immediately at the start. Not only are they not at close positions, but they're automatically cross positions. It makes Metalopolis essentially a 2-player map.
Yep, indeed, but fortunately Zerg can't proxy gate. Proxy hatch maybe, but
yeah.
that's not, I heard it's not that powerful.
Not very powerful, no, especially not in this matchup.
So we do see hatch first over here for our blue Zerg, which is going to be F91. It's a little bit confusing because both these guys are not using their real IDs. So hatch first, of course, a very solid opening in ZVZ. And it's actually quite safe against everything besides 6 or 7 pool. And
yeah.
As you can see at GLSnute, that's not what he's going to do. It's quite interesting. Both these guys went out in the same round at World Cyber Games, the round of 16, I believe. No, actually, F91 went out in the round of 8, and our Norwegian player went out in the round of 16. But they both lost to the same player, for all that's worth, and that would be Sigua, the Chinese Zerg.
So really interesting to see how that kind of played out. These guys get to meet each other now here in this match for a laptop. And interestingly enough, you know, one player is going for Zergling speed early, one player going for hatch first. They're cross positions, though, both players knowing that. So we're going to have to see Snute go for some early pressure. He's going to have to make something happen to catch up.
Exactly. I mean, even if it's just fake pressure, he wants to scare F91 a little bit. Otherwise, the drone and larva advantage is just going to be too big for the Chinese Zerg. It was kind of funny, actually. I was talking a little bit with Snute yesterday, and apparently F91 said a few things in the Team Liquid interview where he said that the difference between Brute War and StarCraft 2 is that in StarCraft 2 he could lose against noobs, and he was kind of referring to people from the Western world. So Snute, yeah, he was really eager to win this match, and he said hopefully let him bite his words a little bit.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it happens. Obviously, a Baneling Nest going down for Snute, because if you see hatch first, you basically have to get a Baneling Nest. Not only can you put pressure on with it, but you'll need it defensively because your opponent could just use that extra production to make a ton of Zerglings and kill you. So now both players getting a Baneling Nest. So we're going to see some really cool micro stuff. Of course, the real advantage that Snute is going to have is that he's going to have Zergling speed much faster.
Yep, he's going to get a Spine Crawler as well. Of course, it's very, very useful against Banelings. Meanwhile, Overlords are going to be put in a good position all around the map. We see the first Banelings morphing already for Snute. It's going to be quite a bit before the first Banelings of F91. Then again, as soon as the Spine Crawler is in position, it shouldn't matter that much. Snute is still very low on drones, though, so he's actually going to put some serious pressure here on F91 already.
And the Baneling's not exactly sure where they want to go. Not getting a very good hit there, but one does get into the main base.
Yep, let's see what that Baneling is going to detonate. He really wants to get all of those Zerglings, and oh, well, actually, we're not going to see what happened. He got a few of them, and we have a few Lings still alive, but they're all quite low on HP. Drones are doing a pretty decent job, and we have quite a few Lings right now on the low ground. So far, really good aggression by Snute.
Yeah, it looks like he may take out the Spine Crawler here, which will be pretty huge for follow-up Banelings, and he's definitely going to get that Spine. It does fall, but there are 2 Queens at the ramp. They're going to block these Zerglings out.
Well, he's actually going to be able to pick off at least 1 Queen. Wow, so many early victories right now for Snute, who's actually droning behind this. He's going to take the 2nd Queen as well. This is almost as good as GG. I have no idea what's happening right now with F91. Yeah. Good control right there by Snute. And I really think it's unfortunate that Snute was actually droning behind this, because if he would have rallied in more Lings, this would have been game over.
Yeah, it's almost as if he just didn't think it was going to be as successful as it was, but now he's so far ahead. I mean, he killed both Queens. He's got his hatchery up. He's got a better drone count. He's going to be able to defend this attack quite easily, too.
I can't blame him, though, because I didn't think it would be that successful.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. But look at this. He's not even done. He's going to send 4 more Banelings in. But F91 is completely prepared.
But these traits are obviously really good for Snute already, since he has the better economy. He's going to have to take care in his main builds, too. About 2 Banelings for 2 Banelings, and probably the same thing happens straight away afterwards. It's quite good for Snute. Snute, who's should have a larva advantage in the near future, because he killed both Queens. F91 still doesn't have a single Queen yet, or actually I think he has 1 Queen.
Yeah, he's about to have his 2nd one out right now, so it's going to be 2 Queens to 1. And it looks like, for now at least, Snute is kind of done with the pressure, putting a little bit more pressure on him right now, but he just does not have the Zergling count to continue it very much.
Nope, quite a few Links from F91 right now here on the low ground. Spinecrawler is getting in position again as well. Snute really loves that spot to morph in Banelings. This is what he's been doing all game long.
Yeah, he's been doing it right in plain sight of the Overlord a few times. But yeah, he's actually just going to run these Banelings in, and to be honest, if F91 doesn't see these, because his Overlord isn't close enough right now, he could be in a lot of trouble.
Drone count is about even though, so Snoot is coming in with a lot of units. This is going to be quite hard for F91 to defend actually. He does have 3 banelings, but 12 banelings for Snoot. That's really, really a lot.
Yeah,
I don't really see a world where F91 is going to get a better hand of this trade.
I don't think so either. 3 drones going down immediately, doing a little bit of damage to that spine crawler as well, but enough banelings, I think, for F91 to hold on a little bit longer. He's got to be careful with his queens here.
Wow, actually F91 is doing this really well so far. He's going to lose the spine crawler though. Here comes a baneling of Snoot, taking down so many Zerglings.
Yeah, a huge baneling hit there for Snoot, taking out a few more as well. And continuing to rally in Zerglings. 14 Zerglings in production right now.
Still has a few banelings. F91 doing a really good job blocking the ramp right now with his 2 queens.
Ooh, taking out some larva with that baneling. A pretty good choice considering there was not much else for him to do with that baneling. It's a really good choice to get that larva if you can. Shuts down the production completely.
Both these guys droning up a little bit again. And wow, I actually think that F91 did that really quite well in the early stages. I think Snoot sacrificed a few too many banelings on that spine crawler. That was a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I think so. I completely agree. But he still has a ton more Zerglings here, but it looks like F91 is enough to hold. He has to be very careful with how he controls this, though.
And it's actually very even right now. Snoot has to be careful with his Zerglings as well. With those banelings, always a nail-biting situation.
Wow, nice micro by F91, but Snoot is just not done. He's going to keep making more banelings.
Yep, here come 3 Zerglings. Snoot wants to get a couple of really good trades off. More banelings on the way for F91 now as well. This is actually very close. 46 against 46 supply. It's not going to get much closer than that. F91 does have a small drone lead. Look at those banelings.
Oh, no,
so
they got
close.
in. And those drones lining up a little bit.
Wow, really smart play right there by F91, blocking the entrance with just a single drone and a baneling from behind. Snoot still does have a supply advantage though.
Yeah, he does have a slight supply advantage. Right now the worker count is 28 for F91 to 26 of Snoot. The Zergling count a little bit higher for Snoot. Continue to put that pressure on right now.
And he's going to have way more banelings in the near future as well. This is a quick, oh, very unfortunate timing right there for F91. Losing 6-7 Zerglings to a single baneling.
And look at that. Drones almost being taken out. It takes out a few drones there. Could have gotten a lot more, though.
I think this might actually be Curtis for F91. Those queens are taking a lot of damage. I wonder how much more those 2 can take.
Yeah, they can't take a whole lot more, that's for sure. Going to damage a lot of... Actually taking out some drones here. And this Zergling count may be too high for Snoot here.
Oh, nice baneling move right there by F91, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. He's actually slowly but steady.
He's lost so much larva, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening. He's always getting the larva with his banelings if he can. And now the queens are dead. He has no real production. Oh no, the drones are desperate.
The drones want to get away from the banelings, but that's not going to happen. The Roach one is almost ready for F91 though, but there are still Zerglings in his base. He barely has any Zerglings himself. As Snoot, meanwhile, just keeps rallying in units and actually has decent creep spread. If we look at the minimap,
yeah, he's got great creep spread. It's actually 30 drones to 19 right now, and look at that. The last bit of banelings right there will probably end the game.
Wow, very nice game right here by the Norwegians, who's really been making a very good name for himself lately in the European ladder as well, taking rank 3 or 4 Grandmaster League, also taking out a lot of good players on online in general. Had a very good day 1 where he took out Moro, and now he's going to make a short work of F91. More and more banelings coming in, and F91 calls GG.
GG. Great showing by our Norwegian player Snoot. Very impressed by his play overall. You know, he knew when to drone, and that first attack was almost too aggressive. I was worried, but he actually droned up so well behind it. It was as if he assumed it was going to fail, and he just was totally ready to keep putting the pressure on afterwards.